Hi everybody, this is General Von Hoffman again. With this video, I'm coming to you from the Software Engineering Group, and I'd like to introduce Mr. Tony Lau, who's the Team Council President over here in Software, and he's got a few questions that have come up from the Software Group, and so we're going to start with Tony, and let me know what you got.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So the top question I received is, what are the near and far-term projection of the workforce?
Okay, so I'm assuming in terms of number for
Yeah.
software and where we're going with hiring and continuing to recruit based on what's going on right now?
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you for that question. The projection for the workforce going forward across the complex is where the workload is steady and we have the folks that we need. We're going to continue to stay at that level. No hiring in those groups. In software, the workload continues to grow, and despite the epidemic that we're in, we're going to continue to have to hire people to be able to support that workload. So we're going to do that. We're going to continue to hire. We, along with the personnel system, are having to do some innovative techniques for hiring. Right now, we can only bring on board folks who are in the local area. No one's able to have a permanent change of station, so to move in here for a new job. But we are going to continue to do our recruiting efforts to the max extent possible that the current environment allows us to do. We're going to hire to the workload that's increasing in software. And like I said, innovative things. We'll probably have telephone interviews instead of in-person interviews, and only be able to bring people in locally. But we're going to continue to grow the workforce that we need, particularly in software.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, so the second question I received is, if I'm being quarantined, either like asymptomatically or positively tested, when can I come to work, and what is the process?
Great. So we all, none of us before probably 3 or 4 weeks ago would think we would become experts in a quarantine process, but we're all learning as we go. So right now, if you are directed to go into quarantine by a public health official, then you'll go into quarantine for 14 days. If you stay asymptomatic, no fever, no cough, no anything, those type symptoms, then at the end of that quarantine period, you will call our occupational medicine flight. They will tell you whether or not it's safe to come back to work if you stay asymptomatic. If you become symptomatic in that quarantine period, then you will contact your provider, and then they'll determine whether you needed to be tested or not. And then based on that, how your symptoms progress, then they'll give you a recommendation, testing or not. If you test positive, then you'll stay through that quarantine period, and then your return to work will be based on how your recovery goes. But you won't return to work until you've been 72 hours without symptoms and 7 days from the first onset of symptoms. And then again, you'll call occupational medicine flight before you return to work. But you'll have to be asymptomatic and be cleared by OCMED before you come back to work.
Thank you for that, ma'am.
Yeah, you bet.
So a final question is my job secure?
Right. So I think that's probably outside of software. That's probably a question a lot of people are asking. What is the overall impact as far as everybody's jobs at the complex? And that's why it is so vitally important. One of the reasons why everybody has been exempt, why they're considered mission critical, is that we absolutely need you to continue your job. Every single job that's in this complex leads to the defense of our nation, and so we need people. We need them to continue to come into work, and that work we're doing it today. We're going to be doing it tomorrow. We're going to be doing it for the rest of this fiscal year and into the future. So everybody's jobs are secure. They're not just secure. Your work here is absolutely necessary. And so whether it's in software and the coding work that we do here, both in developing software and sustaining different software, or whether it's something else over the complex, your job's secure and you're needed to do this. And some of us will be doing that in a telework capacity. Some of us will be doing it here on station. But you will be doing it throughout the rest of this year and going forward past that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yep. And then I think Mr. Diamond's got a message for us.
Hi, ma'am. Thanks for coming down, spending some time in Salford. Tony, thanks for reaching out across the workforce and getting these questions for us. And so, nothing else, ma'am. Colonel Benton, over to you in missiles.